Hindsight Radio, the place for right knowledge.
All right, I'm back. Thanks for staying with me. All right, I put a link in the chat to the Definitive Treaty of Peace, 1783. And in this, I'm not going to read all the way through it, but in there, they reference the Netherlands in this treaty. And if you go down and you look at Article 7, it makes a reference of carrying away any Negroes or other property of the American inhabitants. Now, we all know the definition of American, and we all know the definition of Negro, the real definition that I've done on shows before. So this also adds to the whole apostille conversation. So read that treaty. Too much to read. I'll be here all night reading it. But what I do want to really focus on right now is where the remedy comes from, what we can do, things that we can make our nationality just a tad bit stronger. I think it makes it even stronger. But I want you to look at, for the relief of certain Alabama and Wyandotte Indians. Now, have you ever heard of those names before? Now, this is, you know what? For the sake of secrecy, I'm not going to put the link to this in. I'm just going to read it. I will show this in the seminar and show you the other different. What they had was a statute and rules on Indians, or what we call Indians, really the Americans, the true Americans or the Moors. You know, they've changed our name several times. You know, they took you from being American to Indian, or Moor to American, took your tribal names. But I'm going to show you something, and it's been right in our face. Here it is. An act for the relief of certain Alabama and Wyandotte Indians. Be it enacted by the Senate of House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that the President of the United States be, and he is hereby authorized, the cause to be surveyed and designated by proper metes and bounds a tract of land. They're giving you the metes and bounds of a tract of land, not exceeding 2,500 acres, that's a lot of acres, out of lands of the United States lying in the territory of Orleans and west of the river Mississippi by lease vest the said tract of land in a certain tribe of Alabama Indians. Now that's spelled Alibama, and their descendants. So this land was given over to this tribe and their descendants. So that means in perpetual, it's still today. Well, actually it says for the term of 50 years. This is what they're saying. Right? Provided, nevertheless, that it shall not be lawful for the said tribe of Indians to transfer or assign their interest in the said land, and every such transfer or assignment shall be null and void. And provided also that if the said tribe of Indians shall remove from said tract of land their interest in and to the said shall thenceforth cease and determine. So they gave them this land for 50 years, and if they left, transferred, or assigned, did anything, this agreement would have been void. So let me put this in perspective. Our people didn't leave. They just got renamed. They got re-educated. So they didn't realize this stuff was there, right? Section 2, and be it further enacted that there shall be a designated under this direction of the Secretary of the Treasury 2 tracts of land in Michigan Territory, one including the village called Brownstown, and the other the village called Magwaga, in the possession of the Wyandotte tribe of Indians, containing in the whole not more than 5,000 acres, which 2 tracts of land shall be reserved for the use of the said Wyandottes and their descendants, and be secured for them in the same manner on the same terms and conditions as provided in relation to the Alabama Indians by the first section of this act. So the Wyandottes got some land in their descendants. Same rules apply, right? Let's look up these Wyandottes. Who are these people? I think you can tell who the Alabama Indians are. Can you? That Alabama, the state of Alabama, right? Alibama. Now let's go and put in Wikipedia, or just do a search for these. Oh, I didn't copy that.
So, what is a county deed? A lawful sworn declaration used to rebut or correct a presumption. We know that the government works off presumptions, right? They presume you to be a United States citizen. They presume you to be born in the United States. They make presumptions. And they did that by way of the 14th Amendment, born or naturalized into the United States. Restores the lawful record from which government derives. Presumption of consent, example documents, birth certificate, marriage license, passport, name in all caps. And because those courts are bound by corporate policy, aka codes and statutes. State operates under presumption of consent. These presumptions create corporate legal fictions. A county deed restores the living man woman status, ensures constitutional protections that attach to you. All right, doing my mic check. Peace, what's going on? It's June 8th, 2025, according to the man's calendar, the Gregorian calendar, the one that they made up, has nothing to do with God's clock. I hope y'all know that, right? The time construct that you are under right now is a artificial system. It's not the clock that God goes by. And because we go by these artificial systems, we tend to not hit the mark. We tend to have difficulties because we don't know. We really don't know what's right. Like, I have an idea of what's right, and I go off with the Spirit of God who speaks through me. But when I'm not in the Spirit of God, I get doubts just like anybody else. I get fears that pop up, concerns, trials come up. Do you realize if you're a person who meditates, who really is into connecting with your higher power, with the God within you, you know you have moments where you just know everything's right. And then when you step out of that mindset or that place, that secret room that what the Bible talks about, it's like you walk into another world of confusion, anxiety, depression, hate, anger, conflict. And that's really the truth of the matter. You're in two different realms of existence where you take your mind and you meditate and you just everything's is peaceful. Just think about it. It's like let's see if we can do a brief exercise. Everybody just close their eyes. Just close your eyes and just close it. And say to yourself, you have no problems. There are no problems. There are no issues. Just say that. Just tap into the God within you and just say, there are no issues. Everything is perfect. And believe that. Like, feel that in you that everything is perfect. Everything is working out for my benefit. Say that to yourself. Everything is working out for my benefit and my highest good. This challenge that I'm facing right now is only going to do good for me. And then, so be it. It is. See, think about it. In that brief moment of you just thinking like that, oh, there was no problem. There really wasn't. The problem exists when we focus on it and we hold on to it. When we thinking, well, what is the outcome? I don't know what the outcome is. I don't know. No one knows how the day is going to end. All we know, the only everlasting knowing, infinite knowing that you ever have is what you're doing right now. That's all you know. And if you could just keep thine eyes single and focus on this now where everything's feeling good and why does it feel good? Because you chose and you contracted with the idea of feeling good. I'm gonna feel good no matter what it is. That bill that you're facing that you seem like it's insurmountable and can't pay. And when you really think about it, how many bills that came upon you that it seemed like it was insurmountable, and you worried and you got sleepless nights, and it still got paid somehow. So what makes this moment right now different? It's done. I don't care how big the bill is. It's paid in full. Because when you came into this world, you had no debt. You had none. And you still don't have any debts. I know, oh, but I got all these credit card bills. I got this car note. I got all that. Yeah, I know. No, physically. In the artificial world, you got bills. But in the world of heaven, the world of spirit, there is no bills. There is no such thing as a bill. Debt. And because we contracted with this debt system, and this is why we have the issues. Because of our own choices. But every choice can be undone. Every choice can be changed. You can be redeemed from your situation. And if you're meeting challenges, that means you are heading in the right direction. Where people don't meet success is because they're not walking through the fire of their challenges. It's just that simple. They're not able to move past their issues. There's people, I talk to people who had issues 9-10 years ago, and they're still living through those issues. Why? Because in some area of that issue, they feel like they got to be right about it. And some issues that you face, you don't have to be right. It's like, okay, I'll just have to let this one go. Because as long as you're struggling in that issue right now from 10 years ago, it's as if you're experiencing it all over again, as if it happened right now. And it is really happening to you in your mind. Physically, no. But what happens when your mind adopts and contracts with an issue from the past consistently? You feel it as if it's happening right now. So basically, it is happening right now in your mind. And you're punishing yourself. And this is particularly, I think everybody deals with this, men and women. But women, I think, is deeper. It's like because they're emotion, they take on the emotions and they feel that the feel of that hurt from the past. And when they feel it again and they see it seem like it's coming up again, they feel that. And this is why women have to be very guarded and careful about what they contract with, who they contract with. Because of the emotional makeup and because of the receiver nature of a woman receiving. taking on energy. Got to be very careful. But there's always an answer. There's always hope. There's always a better outcome. And James chapter 1, it says this: My brethren, count it all joy when you fall divers into divers temptations. Basically, you fall into temptations. This is this version of the Bible. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Let me get another version. It's James. James comes after Hebrews. So let's see something that has some modern day English in it. My brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of any kind, consider it nothing but joy, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let endurance have its full effect, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking in nothing. Think about that. That your trials are helping you endure. You should be joyful about it, because you're going to end up lacking in nothing. I'll read it again. It says, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of any kind, consider it nothing but joy. Consider it. See, it's a mindset shift. Don't rebel against it. Why is this happening to me? Is what some people might say. Why me? That's rebelling against your opportunity to level up. And as long as you rebel or you resist your challenges, you're going to keep facing them challenges. It's because the challenges that you face was for you and tailored, custom made for you to go through, not for anyone else. Consider it joy. Oh, this is an opportunity for me. I know is in some of these things it might be easy to do that. But in some situations where, especially when it involves other people doing you wrong, it may be difficult to accept that you should have joy in those situations. But if you allow yourself to go that far, push yourself past the ego, push yourself past wanting to be right, you'll see the joy in going through some things. Let's use a common issue that people have in relationships, and that is infidelity. Right? So you got cheated on, they did something that went against their I like the smoke coming up. It's over here, but it's like passing the camera. Sophia is just delivering her holy wisdom. So you got infidelity, right? Not to dismiss it as something that will not bring harm or hurt to you. Mostly it'll hurt your ego. But think about this. Just think about this for a second. Whatever they did with someone else. And it was your opportunity to see how strong your relationship is. To test the boundaries of your relationship. They test, hey, this person can't be trusted. Thank you for showing me that you cannot be trusted. See, what we do, we get into these situations, we get into this tug of war trying to get that person to do right by you. Walk away from that. That's not their job. And it's not your job to get them to do right by you. They should already have that built into them to do right. But your job is to protect your peace, protect your stability. And that is to ask yourself, is this something I want to live through? Is this something that I feel like I want to participate in? And it is your opportunity to release them from the even feeling of guilt or obligation to you and say, you know what, thank you. I really thank you for this challenging situation you and I have been through. It helped me realize how much I'm worth to myself. See, we look for self validation through people. And normally when people are running around and they jumping in and out of relationships with different people, that's them looking for some form of validation. But thank God you are not that type of person. That you don't need it. You're whole within yourself. The God within you tells you you're good enough. And anybody you decide to create a union with, it's just an addition to what you already have fulfilled within yourself. Just an add-on. And if they take that away, they don't take anything away from you. What happens is that person has taken away an opportunity for being in your presence in a good way. That's on them, not on you. Be joyful. Be thankful. Hey, man, thank you. I didn't have to go live through this for years. See, we have to agree with our adversaries quickly. Agree with the enemy. And the enemy is the idea that you have to be right. Someone did you wrong. You're the victim. No, there's no victims. Your challenges should bring you joy because it lets you see the situation for what it is, the truth of it. See, the issue is we as people sometimes like to run from truth. Let me explain something to you about this world. This world is opposite of truth, right? This current system works in lies. Lies. Right? So if you're a person who speaks truth, you're not going to be popular. So get that through your head. You're not going to be a person who's going to be popular. But you should be the person that's willing to just say the truth is the truth. So if they don't agree, so what? Isn't that what Christ had demonstrated? He came at the time he came into the world, truth wasn't popular. And when he started to speak the truth, the religious leaders who were supposed to be bringing the truth hated him for it. Even conspired to kill him for it and eventually killed him for it. So when people complain, oh, they don't want to hear the truth, that's duh. It's been going on for centuries, thousands of years. This is what it's been like here. But the opportunity that you have is to be different from the norm, to be abnormal where in the world where untruths is normal, because that means you're the chosen one. If you're a person who can resist living a lie like large majority of the population does, some of them doing it intentionally and some of them doing unintentionally. Like for instance, it is a disservice to you as a person if you're studying a religion and you're not really studying it for yourself. If you're a person who's just, accepting whatever's being taught to you without validating it and checking it out, then you're not living in truth because you're supposed to be seeking wisdom and truth. And if you're just leaving it up to the pastor to give you the truth or whatever to tell you what the truth is, you're not living in truth. And that's not you're not being one of the chosen ones. The chosen ones, the chosen people look and turn over rocks to find the truth for themselves, not so they can tell everybody else, for themselves to understand. And then you share it with other people as they want it or as they accept it. See, any difficulty that you face, there is always a better side to the story. And people say it after they go through their challenges, things, if I didn't go through that challenging time, I wouldn't be who I was today. Like, think about it. I even think about it in my own life. If I didn't go through times where I didn't have enough money to pay my rent, facing eviction, all those years ago, had small children, I wouldn't be who I am today without that challenging time. Now, of course, it did not feel good in that situation. And the main reason why I didn't feel good is because I didn't know how to process information. That was the long and short of why I didn't feel good, because I didn't understand or know how my mind worked. That I was bringing forth my own poverty through my own poverty mindset. When I was sitting there contemplating on, the things I did, was doing, I was hustling. I was in straight survival mode for many years. And that's how I thought. I gotta survive. I gotta make it. I gotta running to do this and make a little money here, a little money there. And then, as years went on, and I got older and older, and I realized I don't have to chase money. Money will come to me, and all I have to do is sit there and collect it. But I had to change my mindset and say, I attract money. Money loves to be in my company, and it also loves when I circulate it, that I share it amongst out there. Loves that too. Y'all do understand, money is not for you to just sit there and hold on to, right? First of all, it ain't yours to begin with. It's really, the money they get is not real money. It's supposed to be circulated and multiplied. As you get it, your multiply, your monetary gain, you send it out. Because the more you send out, the more comes back multiplied. It has to circulate. See, the system taught you to hoard. Oh, save this, save that, do this, and put your money in places that really don't have any real growth for you. Taught you to be a consumer, just spend it on, liabilities. Let me finish this. It says, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have the full effect. Let endurance have its full effect. So you have to go fully through it, so that you may be mature, because it's going to mature you and complete. It's going to complete you, lacking in nothing. So at the end of it, you're going to lack nothing. Many people that are very successful today lost everything, and they rebuilt. And a lot of times, why you have to lose everything, or what they lost, what they thought was everything, because what they had at that time was what was holding them back from getting the real reward. They lost friends who didn't support them. Oh, look at him. He's a failure. I knew that. I told you that wasn't going to work. See, you lost those types of friends. You got new ones that will tell you, yeah, keep pushing. You're going to do it. You're going to make it. Do you have those types of friends? Do you have those types of friends that push you to make it? Or do you have the type of friends that want you to give them something and have nothing to give you? That they take from you and leave you empty? What type of friends do you have? Oh, here's the other one. What type of friend are you? You take without giving. Don't give up. This is not the time to give up. I know people are meeting challenges out there, especially if you're really trying to level up. Oh yeah, because it comes with the territory. I know, and you're not alone. Sometimes, of course, you go through these challenges, you feel like you're alone. No one cares. Don't think that. There's one person that's rooting for you. There's one person that's always rooting for you, and that should be you. You should be your own cheerleader. Once you stop cheerleading for yourself, you're done. You're finished. Because that's all you got at times. That's all you have. Once you stop motivating yourself and saying, I am successful and things like that, you're done. No matter, no one else can come and say something to you to push you out of it. You have to bring yourself out of that dark place. So always, even when you look around and it seems like no one understands, no one cares, you always have to motivate yourself. Oh yeah, I get like that. So, man, people don't care about what I want to help me or do anything. But you know what gets me through? I don't go out there looking for validation. Hey, and telling my sorry stories. I go within. Hey man, what's going on? And I just start getting to working. Idea come, I get to working. And when I really, and what I notice when I get like that, that means I ain't doing enough. I'm not keeping myself busy enough. My mind is too idle that it can default to have those types of thoughts. I'm idle. I need to get up and do something. Get up off my ass and go do something. And once I start doing something, next thing you know, hours are going by. I've been working on something. Yesterday, we did the county deed webinar. Very successful. Thank you to all the people that took the live webinar. You got a huge discount for getting on it live. You guys are fortunate because the price what it is now, it's not. It's a fair price for what you're getting. See, you have to start reading for yourself. I realized over the last 3 to 4 months, I had some crooked thinking on, I need to, make this and make it this so people could afford this and this, that, and the other at my own expense. And unfortunately, we shouldn't do things like that. If people are not willing to invest in their freedom and invest in something that is valuable, when I look at, I saw someone sent me, it was a will, a prenup agreement, and some type of medical, like a medical, like a instructions for what happens if someone is, you at the end of life. And it was just like a one-page document what they wanted to happen when they pass, and like a medical release thing for whoever's gonna manage the estate to do and instruct the hospital. And then a will, which is not a trust. We all know that wills are what you want to happen, but it's they could challenge that. The property you still have is still in your name. It's not protected. And this prenup, which was about 2 or 3 pages, very basic. Everything was very basic. The attorney charged $4,000 for that. And here I charge for 2 grand. And the new setup is 3 grand that I have now. But they got a very basic thing that doesn't really protect them right now. Nothing to protect them right now. Everything is for the future, and all of the property was going in the names of the children, meaning that they're going to deal with capital gains taxes. So the attorney didn't even give them. Well, I can't say I wasn't part of that conversation, but there was no real asset protection, and it was major tax liabilities if property passed on to the children after that person passed. But I know my stuff is valuable. And I see people charging 10, 5, and like, well, what kind of prices are they charging? And this is what they're giving to people. We have to know our worth and we need to charge for it. Okay. You need to charge what you're worth. One of the reasons why some of you are struggling is because you don't feel like what you have to offer is worth much. Or you're one of these people that's so self-righteous that you want to, you're thinking about everybody, all of the poor people that can't afford this and afford that, afford this and that. Listen, listen, listen. You cannot save the world. If you're trying to accumulate wealth, you got to put the price on it because them same poor people are standing in line waiting on Jordans to come out at $400 or $500 a pop. Those same people are spending their money on frivolous things that bring them no wealth. But yet you, self-righteous as you are trying to save them. They don't want to be saved. They just want what they want. When they get their hand on their money, they're going to go get what they want. They're going to go eat at that restaurant and pay that $100 for that meal. They're going to go to that store and buy that expensive designer bag. Regardless of they got enough money to pay for it. They're going to get it. But then they'll come to you. This is all about this whole message is about don't give up. And I'm giving you opening up your mind to help you not give up. Because maybe your prices are just too low for you to survive. Because you're so self-righteous, you're trying to fix the world. You're trying to fix the poor folks. And I feel for the poor folks. But I can't, anybody in their right mind doesn't want to be poor. And the only way you're not going to be poor if you working and putting yourself in a situation for you not to be poor, just like they should be doing. Those same poor people come to you and tell you, why are you charging your people for everything? Well, just give us the knowledge. Some girl was on one of these social media. Just give us the knowledge. No, I'm not giving you anything. First of all, the way you're asking for it. Second of all, what makes this knowledge that I went and researched and spent my time and got remedy for me and so many other people, I'm just going to give it to you? When you're the same person that walks around and work for everything else to give someone else and pay them, you don't go in the grocery stores and say, I don't want to buy this because it's too high. You buy it because you need it. You see that you need it. See, that's how people try to devalue your work. See, these are the challenges that you have to face when you're trying to, like, how do you strike that balance of being fair in your pricing and being fair to yourself? Your spirit tells you what to charge. And that first number, put it on the paper. Put it out there because there's somebody that's going to pay that price. There's somebody that's going to pay it. And then if you want to be charitable, you create you a foundation and then you invite people in and give them stuff that way. That's how the wealthy do. They make all their billions of dollars and they create foundations. So, well, this foundation is for homeless children. And I'm going to donate so much of my wealth to that. But the products that they're selling, they're not discounting that. They get it in one way, give it out another way. See, if you're on the come up and you're trying to build your commerce, you need to hit them with the price. This is the price. This is my business. This is how I feed my family. This is the price. If you could get it somewhere else and someone's I might not be the right fit for you. And we have to speak like that. I'm not the right fit for you. This is 10 years of knowledge in my head of doing this, living this life full time. And it's not cheap. It's not. I conducted an experiment. Conducted an experiment. I two experiments. And they both taught me two valuable lessons. A valuable lesson. I did a free seminar, which I'll never do again. Because the poor people didn't want to hear it. The people that claim they ain't got it, that I get emails about, oh man, I'm gonna show blah, 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 they didn't show up. Well, it was a decent turnout, but no. I guarantee you, if I was giving out some ribs and some hot wings or something like that, some crab legs, everybody would have showed up. See, people value stuff that fill their belly, that's what they value. They're not valuing knowledge that they can take and pass down to the generations. And the second thing, I reduced my consultation price to $50. And I look at the numbers on my consultation, they haven't gone up any. They're about the same as when I had them at, I think, 97. About the same. That was just an experiment. That means that's changing. I'm going back to it because that 30-minute time of knowledge that I'm giving you will save you so much money. If you're listening. And a lot of times I do it goes over 30 minutes. If I'm talking to someone I think is halfway appreciating what I'm doing. If I'm talking to somebody and they just want to sit there and regurgitate some nonsense, they want me to validate nonsense, you're getting 30 minutes and I'm out of here. So what I'm saying is part of our challenges of success is striking a balance between what you feel you're worth and what people feel you're worth. And you should always have a higher value on yourself. Have a very high, hey, what I know is valuable, and walk and talk like that, because the people that's connecting to that energy will show up. Because I watch people pay for thousands of dollars, upwards $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 for stuff that never worked. Literally, these are real numbers I'm giving you. Real numbers. So, and lastly, this must be said. You have to do an inventory of your connections. So who you with? Do people really value your information? Because if people really value you, they'd be looking to give you money to support you. Hey, how can I support you? People think because they connected with you, they could just be a part of, just take your information for free. That's not friends. That's not a friend. That's a user. My friends if I feel like you got something, I'm gonna, hey, how much is that? I'll give you the money for it. Or we barter. I have a lot of information to barter. I don't mind bartering. If y'all have something that y'all think I can use I think I can use, and y'all want to barter something, I don't mind doing that. It's all types of payment. It's not just money all the time. And I barter all the time. I got gold, I got silver, I got crypto from bartering. Y'all got some crypto y'all want to unload and y'all want to shit, y'all need something and feel like you can't afford the membership, but you got some crypto you want to exchange. I'm particularly looking for some XRP. If you want to, send me some XRP, I'll take some of it. I think one of the brother did that last year. It was that bartering that crypto that put me into the crypto game about 6-7 years ago. Brother came in and said, "Listen, man, I got some crypto. You want this?" And I took it, and it was turned out to be profitable for me. Worth more than what I gave him for it. See, you got to get creative too. And I help people out. Sometimes people don't have all of the money to do certain things. Okay, you've been doing business with me for a long time. What can we work out? See, you can receive money on all levels. It's always opportunities. There's so many doors to wealth. So don't give up. I know it's been, this year's been challenging. This 2025 is a Jubilee year, and it's a year of challenges at the same time. As you can see, the world is going through a lot of changes right now. You don't know what's going to happen. 1 minute, Elon Musk and Trump are best friends. He's at the White House. He ain't even dressed with a suit and tie on. He got his little son there. Like, whoa. Now they at each other's throat. they throwing shade on each other. Come on. Y'all do realize this is all puppeted and shows, right? It's all a game. But if you concentrated on what you're doing, you'll be fine. So after you get off listening to me, and I appreciate all you guys who listen every Sunday, make an inventory of where you need to make some changes. And we should be doing that daily or weekly. Okay, how did this week turn out? Like a weekly check-in. Successful companies have meetings. They have report meetings, quarterly reports, monthly reports. They got all kinds of reports. They be having too many reports as far as I'm concerned. But that's them checking on the health of their business. Have you checked on the health of your business, your home business? On a financial level, emotional level, romantic level? Are you doing that? I do know a lot of relationships fall by the wayside because you're not doing a check-in. Hey, babe, how am I doing? And tell me straight up. And don't be mad when you hear the truth. Don't be mad. It might irritate you because anything that's going to help you will irritate the hell out of you. Trust me. That's just life. And think about it. That feeling is temporary. You come to your sense, and you know what? That makes sense. If you with someone and you don't feel like y'all have no challenges, y'all gonna get bored with each other, and you ain't gonna be together eventually. I need those challenges. Not every day is gonna be sunny, but it's those challenges that make you stronger. Those things that y'all go through together makes you stronger. I don't know why the divorce rates, the relationship ending rates are so high because no one wants to deal with the challenges of working out their different personality conflicts and bringing harmony. When we live in a world where 1 minute is sunny and the next minute is thundering and storming outside. Yesterday it was sunny for the most part. Then towards the end of the day, the sky opened up. But when you have that in your relationship, I'm too good for this. Not me. Everybody got these egos about what they not going to do, what they not going to go through. I'm too good for this. He ain't on my level. She ain't on my level. You know what the problem is? Think too much of yourself in that situation. Ain't nobody infallible. He without sin cast the first stone. It's like that person might have some issues and some trauma from their past. Most likely you have some traumas of your own you dealing with, some demons you fighting. But if you get into to partnership with someone and y'all fight them demons together, see, the problem is nobody want to fight the demons together. You see that person go through something, I can't deal with that. I got my own. No, y'all work together. Now that y'all become one, you work together and fight them together. Have some honest conversations about them demons. What is it? and be willing to listen. But, if you're in a situation, having a conversation, you feel like you're always going to be right, then you're not going nowhere. Anyway, so I went from persevering and not giving up on your business, and to the end, we talking about protecting your relationship, fighting demons together, fighting the spirit of what we got going on now is this spell. I call it a spell or a ritual that they're consistently doing to divide the man and the woman. And unfortunately, some of us are falling for it. We're falling right into it. Hook, line, and sinker. Every video that most of these guys are making is about disrespecting, or complaining about what women are doing or black women are doing. I'm like, when did we get to this generation of men where we just sit around and have time to talk about what women are doing? Like, what the hell? What? And I still was flipping, I see these videos. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't grow up like this. I didn't grow up in a generation where, yeah, there was problems, but we didn't sit there and have this powwow about it. And the reason why these people are making these types of videos, because it's low-hanging fruit and they getting views and they getting paid to talk about the problems of black women. And then you got the women who talk about men and black men getting money, just talking bad about each other. Isn't that crazy that they can get rich just by destroying people with their tongues? Nothing uplifting. And you do know the more you talk about a problem, it's going to stay that way. It's even going to grow. I made a video on my YouTube channel, and it was talking about, I was showing different maybe I could, you know what? Let me see if I can find the video, and I'll share part of it with you. Let me see. Here it is.
In the heart of Del Paso Heights stands the Center for Fathers and Families.
Fatherhood means responsibility.
The nonprofit was founded in 1994 to help fathers thrive.
There's a lot of organizations serving moms, and we believe that if fathers are served as well, everybody will benefit from it.
The center offers several programs and services like parenting classes and support groups.
Practical parenting for that parent that just needs a little extra support, especially the fathers. Co-parenting, which is the most exciting class we offer.
One of the goals is challenging the absent black father myth. A 2013 study by the CDC shows 70% of black fathers who live with their children were most likely to be involved in activities like bathing, dressing, and driving their children to activities compared with their white or Hispanic counterparts.
The sad thing is that dads have capes on their back, but they're never shown as heroes.
Here's my son right here. This is after a church event.
Author Threadgill has 2 sons and says the center has made a positive difference in his life.
Classes have taught us how to enter into mediation, how to express yourself in mediation, how to get more time with your children through mediation.
He says he wants the best for his children.
I refuse to abandon my child.
The center definitely has helped me be able to actually understand my role as a father.
Brandon Jackson says his daughter means everything to him.
It's just more of a spiritual connection, and it's a loving connection that I never would want to have broken.
He enjoys the father-daughter dance most, hosted by the center.
It's been more than a blessing just to be able to have those moments with her, and just to have her even be willing to still go with me as she's getting older.
With 30 years of service, the center has grown to become a safe haven for fathers to get support, encouragement, and hope.
Now at 11, breaking negative stereotypes about black fathers. Members of Congress joined a policy meeting to tackle them because they see people hurt by perceptions based on bias.
So they're finding facts to fix the narrative. CBS News Miami's Larry Seward explains.
Corey Patterson is a certified public accountant, partner in a Broward County firm with 2 degrees, certifications, and thanks to his 4-year-old fishing buddy,
I love you.
one defining label.
I think the best thing and the best title I've ever had is the title of being a father. It feels like you get the opportunity to go in the time machine and give all of the lessons that you learned throughout life to a younger version of yourself. And I kind of go through my day and I'm kind of explaining things that I'm doing with my son. People look at me like, really, you're doing that? And I'm like, yeah, I am. Isn't everybody?
It's a question 10-year-old Centers for Disease Control research tackled. It found black fathers more involved in their children's lives compared to other racial groups, a fact so obscured by a different narrative. The U.S. House of Representatives member Frederica Wilson, founder of Miami's 5,000 Black Role Models mentoring program, called this policy meeting in the U.S. Capitol to change.
It is very disingenuous the way they are perceived and stereotyped across this nation. And it's time to amplify the message.
Her Congressional Commission on the Social Status of Black Men and Boys plans to attack disparities and misconceptions with more research.
I accept God's given responsibility.
And pledges from people working to help.
Go, Dada, go, Dada, go.
Between park trips and story time with his son Cole, Patterson is an advocate for the Fatherhood Task Force of South Florida, a group that trains, teaches, supports, and holds workshops with dads.
I think that false narrative is discouraging to young fathers.
With their full court press, advocates see a score that might turn heads. Wilson and other members of Congress expect their meeting in D.C. to ripple here, too. They hope organizations use their platform to bring attention and attack misconceptions, too. In downtown Miami, Larry Seward, CBS News, Miami.
All right, I just want to read this article from Princeton.edu. This is a study they did on the myth of low-income black fathers' absence from the lives of adolescents. This is a continuing message to dispel the myths about black fathers. Here we go. And this was done in 2023. It says low-income black fathers have been portrayed in the media, in research, and uninvolved and disengaged from their children. The current study uses data from the Fragile Families and Child Well-Being Study to examine adolescents' reports of relationships and interactions with their biological fathers. The results showed there were no significant differences amongst Black, Hispanic, non-Hispanic, white, and other fathers of adolescents' perceptions of closeness or interactions with fathers. After accounting for statistical controls, the association between race, ethnicity, and father involvement was not significantly moderated by mother-father residential status. The results substantiate what other researchers have concluded. Low-income, non-resident, and co-resident black fathers are no less involved with their children than fathers in other racial ethnic groups. So they have so many other studies. I'm going to show more. This is my tribute to fathers around this country and the world so that they can really get the credit they deserve, because fathers do put in a lot. Despite movies that show fathers being absent, and that's the narrative that they push in Hollywood. And I think what happens is we see stuff on TV, and you see similar situations to what you see on TV, isolated in situations, and then everyone is doing it. Everyone has this issue. So I can say from my own personal experience, my father's always been around. Since I'm 55 and he's been around those 55 years. I have 4 children and I've been around all their life. My daughter lives with me. I work with my son closely. He in our trucking company. So, and I have my oldest son have 2 children. He's with his children diligently, despite all of the negative talk about what black fathers do, there's still fathers out there pushing through all of that negativity and still handling their business. So, to continue, I got more to show you. So, here's a video with Oprah, someone you guys love and trust. This is from June 30th, 2020. Her talking about black fathers and the myth. So, let's listen to it.
There's been this landmark study from the Center for Disease Control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding black fathers. It found that the majority of black fathers live with their children. Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie.
There you have it. Now, I played that. It's up on my TikTok, I think Instagram. I don't know if I put it up on YouTube. I'll put the whole video up on YouTube. But this is one of those things where it's a myth and the studies show it, but people still want to believe what's bad. Because out of all of my videos, that has usually I put a video up, I get likes, I get alert. But that video, let's see. I'll tell you. To show you how people are programmed just to stay ignorant. And they want to believe the lie about you. And this is with everything. People want to believe the bad about you. And brothers, you got to push through that. You got to, okay, this is what these people do. Who cares? I'm going to still do what I got to do. You know? Let's see if I can skip. Go here. So that video, 135 views. Well, I got video 700. My trust video over 1,000. I think it's like 1,700. And this was up for a few days. That videos haven't been up there long as that one, and it's got more views. And the comments. Okay, let's look at comments. When it came in, one comment on the whole video. One comment. You see what I'm saying? It shows you what people really feel. And that's why I'm telling you guys, y'all got to do y'all thing and don't care about what people think. Because people are not going to give you credit. Because that's positive. And of course, in this world, it's designed, especially for people of color, to keep them oppressed mentally, spiritually. Understand that the very religion that you've been given was meant to oppress you. People, let me change it. That wasn't meant to, but people used it as a weapon to oppress you. It was used to keep you down. That's why you have to get in the word for yourself. You have to bring out the God in you for yourself because nobody's doing it for you. And that's why I think Father's Day is next weekend. So I think that was timely that I got the motivation to even make a video about that. You see? And it just shows you can put the facts in people's face and they'll still. See, what it is somebody get into a bad situation with someone and everybody's like that. Every man is like that. Every woman is like that. It's not true. It's the woman or the man you chose or choosing is like that. So, person you need to check is your choices. You. Why are you picking these bombs? Because when it comes to the black fathers, and I said it in the video, true fathers, true good men, they don't even tolerate a man in their presence that's not doing for his children. We don't tolerate that. I'm hanging out with a dude and I know he ain't doing right, which I don't even have that opportunity really, because everybody I know is actively dealing with their children and doing things for their children. We're not hanging out if you ain't taking care of yours. We're not doing that. I got a perfect example, my father. And then I pass his example on to my son. And I'm about to be a grandfather soon, some later on this year, sometime again, by one of my other son, Hakeem Jr. So, and I'm gonna have the same speech I had with him to my older son. Hey, listen, you're gonna have challenges, but you got to do what you got to do to be in your children's lives. All right, there you go. Sunday, y'all got a little bit of everything today. But keep on, keep it going. Don't get discouraged. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to be that success you say you're gonna want to be. It's not too late. Don't even get that ahead. Get it done by any means necessary, without harming people, of course. All right. With that being said, peace, prosperity. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna leave y'all a little bit of this snippet of this old show. I've been playing old shows lately. That being said, peace.
Yeah. Hang on. Copy and paste. All right. Indians. All right. The Wyandotte people. Wyandottes, Wyandottes. This is Wikipedia. Here we go. Then I'll get back to the phone lines after I go over this a little bit. Where is my chat? All right. All right, I see you there in the chat. I'll answer that in a minute. But let me go over this and I'll talk about that. All right, Wyandottes. The Wyandotte people, or Wendat, W-E-N-D-A-T, also called the Huron Nation, is your nation, and Huron people, are an Algonquin-speaking peoples of North America who emerged as a tribe around the north shore of Lake Ontario. They traditionally spoke the Wyandotte language and Northern Algonquin language and were believed to number over 30,000 at the time of European encounter in the second decade of the 17th century. These people, by the 15th century, the pre-contact Wyandotte had settled in the large area from the north shores of most of present-day Lake Ontario, northwards up to Georgian Bay. From this homeland, they encountered the French explorer Samuel D. Champlain in 1650. Now, do you see why this French treaty is starting to make sense? The historical Wyandotte emerged in the late 17th century from the remnants of two earlier groups, the Wyandotte Huron Confederacy and the Teonatati Huton in French, also known as the tobacco people for their chief commodity crop. They were located in the southern part of what is now the Canadian province of Ontario around Georgian Bay, drastically reduced in number by epidemic diseases after 1634. They were dispersed by war in 1649 from the Iroquois, then based in New York. Today, the Wyandotte have a First Nation reserve in Quebec, Canada. They also have three major settlements in the United States, two of which are organized as independently governed, federally recognized tribes. Due to the differing development of groups, they speak distinct forms of Wendat and Wyandotte languages. The Huron range spans the region from downriver of the source of St. Lawrence River along 3/4 of the north shore of Lake Ontario to the territory related to neutral people, extending north from both ends, wrap around Georgian Bay, which became their territorial center after their 1649 defeat and dispossession. So they got kicked off. Based on what this said, they always show our people as losers. Let's skip down into Origin Names Organization before 1650. Skip down to there. But I want to go to the second paragraph. In the early 17th century, this Algonquin people called themselves the Wendat, an autonomous, which means dwellers of the peninsula or islanders. The Wendat historic territory was bordered on three sides by the waters of Georgian Bay and Lake Simcoe. Early French explorers referred to these natives as the Huron, either from the French Huron, ruffian or rustic, or from her, boar's head. According to tradition, French sailors thought that the bristly hairstyle of Wendat warriors resembled that of a boar. French fur traders and explorers called them the Bon Iroquois, good Iroquois. An alternate etymology from Russell Everett in 1885 is that the name is from the Iroquois name, Iroquois Nation, a name also called the Erie Nation. Now, you know they got Erie counties and stuff like that around the United States. They pronounce the name as Hereranan in French, which gradually was known as Huron, and finally spelled in its present form, Huron, Huron. Concurred in 1907 that the Huron was at least related to the Algonquin root Ronan Nation. You see it says Ronan or Ronan. Etymological possibilities come from the Algonquin words Tehran, straight coast, or Turon, crooked coast. The Wendat were not a tribe, but a confederacy of 4 more tribes and had mutually intelligible languages. According to tradition, the Wendat Confederacy was initiated by the Atacamawattans, people of the Bear, and the man, that's a big word. It's people of the Cord, who made their alliance in the 15th century. They were joined by the Irradarahans, people of the Rock, about 1590, and the Tauhatayarat, people of the Dead, around the 1610. A fifth group, Adarakaranans, people of the Marsh or Bog, may not have attained full membership in the Confederacy and may have been a division of the Atacamawattans. Now, what does this remind you of? If you remember the movie Black Panther, they had different tribes of people. You had the one up in the mountain, one in the valley. They had different sects of people. This is sounding a lot like Black Panther. You see what I'm saying? But I'm going to stop right there to what it said. It says Michigan territory. Do you know the Wyandots are really the people of Wayne County in Michigan? What they did was take these names and rename them or respell them. So what I'm trying to tell you, these counties are named after your ancestors or respelled and repronounced. So now, let's you know what? I've just been told in my spirit to shut my mouth. We'll talk about that in the seminar this Saturday, because this has profound implications